Hi, besties. Welcome back to our podcast. My name is Jen.
And my name is Nia, and this is the Biz Besties podcast where we talk about all things entrepreneurship.
So today's episode, we're talking about how to open your first storefront or salon.
Brick and mortar location. Not just salon, it could apply to any business owner who wants to get that physical location, all the different steps it takes. And since Jen is the one who went through this, all the different steps she took, and she went through this twice.
Yeah.
She has her second storefront, her second salon.
Mm-hmm.
So for your very first salon, what made you even ready, especially financially?
Yeah, for sure. I think it was more like I was teaching at that time, so I was renting out space, and the overhead in renting out space cost a lot because I had sometimes 2 to 3 classes every month, and I needed like space for 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
So those cost me a good $800 to $1,000. Easy, because both days I needed 6 to 8 hours. So imagine you paying $50 to $100 per hour.
Yeah.
And you need to also add in cleaning and prepping time. So it was to the point where I was like, okay, I need space. 1. 2, I saved enough to where if something happened the first year, I had a backup plan. So that was 2, finances. 3, it was ready. I was ready to grow. I was ready to grow out from being in my room. You know, it was 1, I was teaching a lot more. I had more clients. And I also was like, okay, if I wanted to grow my business, I can't just be at home.
It was in your mind for a while before you actually pulled the trigger and got it.
Yeah, because I started teaching on year 2, and I didn't move out till year 5.
Yeah.
So year 5 is when I opened up the salon.
Your salon.
Yeah, and what I did was I actually had a client who is my real estate agent, and she's going to be my agent when I buy a house because she is a shark, and I feel like she'll always give me a good deal. So I asked her what places to, look at, like what cities, like I'm in Union City at that time. So I couldn't, I also didn't want to move away from my clients. So location is so important. So if you are based out of a city, 5 to 10 miles is probably the max you should
be looking in.
Yeah, you cannot be like in Hayward and you want to move to San Jose. Like, you're going to lose half of your clientele, maybe all your clientele. Because a lot of girls, as much as they love you, they also like convenience and how easy to get to you, right? So first I was in Hayward, then I moved to Union City. So I needed something close to Hayward and Union City.
Yeah.
And then so I moved to Newark, which is just a city after Union City. And I was like, okay, this is not that bad. So we actually went and checked my first salon space on my birthday. Yeah, remember? And so I went in there. I kind of just gave up too because I was like, maybe it wasn't time. So when I did go to that place, it was beautiful. It used to be a dental place. So they kept it beautiful on the outside. But, okay, so when you're looking for a place, the person who wants to sell you this place is in a rush. They're like, oh, there's someone else looking at this spot.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure?
They're trying to get you in ASAP.
Every single time. Even the second location I'm at, they even emailed me like, well, I'm emailing other people too. So if you're interested, we should get the ball rolling. And I'm just like, oh my God. So if they do say that, maybe it's true, but maybe it's not true. Really just like take a deep breath and like ask yourself, is this really the route that I'm going to? So the first time, it was beautiful. I loved it. The owner, landlord was just like, oh, I'll give you this deal. I didn't know what numbers were, I was estimating how much money I was making at that time. And so when she gave me the number, it was like 4,000 something. At that time, I was making like 20 grand a month. Imagine teaching. So 4,000 out of 20, that was nothing. So I was like, that's not bad. So that's how I looked at it. When you get a place, I feel like you need to make 3-4 times more than rent.
Because all the additional expenses that you incurred just by having a new physical location, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a lot. So One, you pay for deposit, security deposit first month, and maybe even last month rent. So let's just say 10,000 off the bat, right? That's just deposit and like rent.
And then monthly.
And then you have to still pay your next month, right? Yeah. So make sure you have 15 grand.
Yeah.
And then you have to pay for anything that kind of just stumbles upon your move. So I fix a freaking generator.
Yeah, so how much total did you spend on renovations?
I think I spent a good 25 grand, because 12 grand was because I built that wall.
Right.
And then there's little things well, not little, but like I had to buy a new generator because I don't know what the dentist place did, but like my plugs didn't work.
Right.
So that was like 3 grand.
You redid the floors, you redid like the ceiling.
So I didn't do thankfully I didn't do the floors at the salon. Yeah.
It was that nice.
It was nice because it was a dental place.
Lucky.
So they were very like sanitary on the floor. You know, they can't have anything on the floor like that.
Yeah.
And they repainted the walls. So again, the first place was beautiful in the outside. And then I had a leak in the roof. I had to buy a new generator. The AC and heater didn't work. So that is all invisible. Yeah. Right? You don't see those things. So I think my tip to people who are going into a first place is, one, go with someone, because I went by myself, also with my agent, but like my agent looked at it like, this place is nice and someone might take it because it was a dental spot. So it was kept up nice. Just again, the invisible things that you don't see, someone will figure that out after they sign a lease, which I did. So second is like, okay, go with someone who can inspect it. Like literally bring an inspector or someone you trust. You got to haggle the lease. I didn't haggle the lease the first time. She said that she was going to give me a good deal. I thought it was a good deal, but I honestly think I could have haggled more.
Yeah.
For sure. Because
then your second salon.
So the second place, let's move on to the second place, because the first place, like, so I got it financially. I paid for everything. You should get it inspected. Honestly, that salon cost me like $50,000.
Oh, so you mentioned this in a previous episode, but just state again how much money you saved to even get the ball rolling on getting a salon.
So I saved $50,000 emergency fund, and then $25,000 like run-in money, and then I got $25,000 credit card,
business credit card.
So overall, I had $100,000 that I should have just bought a house with, but it's okay. So $25,000 on the credit card, $25,000 on my own money, $50,000 in that salon. Like, I'm done. I didn't even touch the emergency fund until COVID.
Yeah.
So at that time when I got the salon, it was COVID, and I hopefully never have to go through that again, and hopefully nobody has to go through that. But how would you know if you're opening up a space and like the whole world shuts down?
Well, that was a great emergency fund then.
Yeah.
Because an emergency definitely came with COVID.
Yeah. But thankfully, Trump helped us out.
You're so dumb.
He did, I know. But okay, so financially, for sure, I have like $50,000 for a storefront, for at least 1,000 square foot storefront. I mean, you can kind of make way under $50,000, but just having maybe even $25,000 plus 25 emergency fund for anything under 1,000 square feet. Always have a real estate agent. Always have an inspector.
You have a business lawyer.
I had a lawyer. I have a lawyer on retainer. They're expensive. That's also with the $50,000 that I spent. Retainer is like $5,000. And I don't talk to him unless it's an emergency.
Yeah, because like charges like how much, like $500 an hour. $500
an hour, like holy crap. So yeah, honestly, I think it's more being ready to pay, being ready to renovate, being ready to pay for yourself if something does happen, because in a lot of places, the landlord does not want to pay anything.
Yeah, because you had some run-ins where you were like, hey, landlord, take care of this, and they were like, this is your responsibility.
Yes, and which is crazy because the first person literally just gave me like a printed out copy from like Google, and I signed it, and it said that she was like responsible for things, and I sent her the lease, and she's like, oh, I gave you like a deal, so that doesn't count. You need to fix it. And I'm like, wait, what's on the lease? She's like, your lease is cheap.
And that is when you hit up your business lawyer.
So I hit up my business lawyer. It was more expensive going back and forth with my lawyer and the landlord. And I think she knew that. And landlords know that you will quit, which it freaking sucks because no one talks about this because we try to say like, oh, I have a business, it's amazing, da, da, da. But no, like you're on your own. Like you have to treat it as like your own space, even though it's someone else's, which is so sad.
And you just have to worry about everything.
You have to worry about everything, clogged toilets, leaks, anything shutting down, everything. So I feel like my new salon now, I've had way more stress in the beginning. Like I'm still stressing. Like it's always stressful the first year.
Yeah.
So I'm only
because you're settling in,
and things are popping up.
Yeah.
So like now I'm at my new place. My agent still helped me. This was better because now I know how much. So I've learned from, okay, I got 4,000 something for a 2,000 square feet. This is 1,000 square feet or less. This is like 900. I should at least be getting half of that. Mm-hmm. So I went in there. It took me like 2 weeks to contact someone because I don't know why they're out of the state. They had someone open the door for me. No one was even there with me. I brought a friend. And I walked in there. It was a Metro PCS. It was ugly. It was freaking ugly. But it had potential. And I liked location. Mm-hmm. 1, it's still a plaza. 2, my neighbors is Subway and a Kumon, which is a tutoring school. And then a preschool and a kids jumping area.
AKA you're getting more walking traffic.
Walking traffic, a lot of moms, a lot of women. So I had to think about that too. And then I had to think about, okay, where does my girls live? And most of them live around Hayward. Mm-hmm. And okay, now let's think about all my clients. Where do they all live? And most of them, again, around that area. Because I'm in Hayward, Union City. Yeah. Like borderline. Again, I didn't even move that far. And things are still popping up at the salon. I feel like I didn't really have break-ins at the old salon. I had 2 back-to-back.
Right when you moved in.
Yeah.
They happened within your first 2 months?
2 months.
Ugh. I felt so bad.
I still had to see through windows because the landlord said I couldn't tint them. So yeah, they saw my register, or they saw my front desk and they just broke it, went in and got my register. It had only $100.
Our next episode is we're gonna talk about all the struggles and all the downsides, all the bad things that's happened through our just experience as being business owners. Yeah. We'll talk about that next.
Mentally, it was very tiring.
Yeah, I felt so bad. Okay, so also in regards to opening up a storefront, what about all the business permits? Like what, in regards to those things you need to sign, fill out?
So you need to have, of course, your business info or your LLC or corp. You need that. You need to have taxes that shows that you have been in business.
Oh, that shows that you have how much money you have.
Yeah. 3, you need a business bank account because the first place that I went to, she didn't care. She needed someone to go in. She didn't care about my credit score. She was just like, you want it or you don't, because I have someone else next to you. And I was like, well, I kind of want it. And it was like, she pushed me in, not pushed me, but like, I want this place. I'm excited.
That's her business too. I get it.
Yeah. And like, I also was like, okay, this place is beautiful. It's enough space. At that time, I wanted something like that. But this time I wanted something more affordable. So for sure, they checked my credit score. They checked my bank account. They checked how much credit and debit I had for my business and like my emergency fund. They even asked me all of that. Like, do you have money to be okay? Basically, my insurance. I couldn't get the keys until I had insurance. I couldn't get the keys until I signed a freaking 100-page lease. Because like the second place, it's owned by this rich lady from LA, the whole plaza.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't even talk to her. I talk to a third-party company that she hired. Yeah, which is a commercial property managing company. And I was like, wow. So they're really up to code. They do things like they inspect your building and everything for you, but other than that, like you are on your own.
Yeah,
for sure. So after I got that, I got the city permit. business permit. It's like $50. You gotta just do it online for Hayward.
Didn't you say that was the one that took a while or something about hang up your sign?
So that's the sign permit.
Damn.
So there's a sign permit where they take the old sign down and they put your sign, but then the person who made your sign needs to be up to code with the measurements because each person or each business can only use a certain measurement for the sign. Yeah, and they have to like draw it out. They have to do measurements. I actually just had it inspected a couple weeks ago because the city needs to inspect it. The city needs to inspect the wiring. And I never experienced this in the first place.
Didn't you say in your first salon you had like random inspections? Not maybe not this kind of inspection,
No,
but
like
wasn't it something else?
It was a beauty inspector.
Oh,
yeah. So you
so
also need
the
a beauty
board.
Yeah, Cosmo. Yeah. So you also need a beauty license, establishment license. So I got that. I got this. Okay, so city permit, establishment, business permit, your SD or Cosmo license, your sign permit. I also had to apply for the freaking police department permit, alarm permit.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, alarm. Makes sense.
When you're a business and you got an alarm where the alarm calls the police after like a minute, you actually need to pay for a permit.
Jeez.
Like, and then if it's a false alarm, you get charged by the police department.
All these extra fees. So what about monthly? In addition to rent, PG&E, AC, what are your other monthly expenses?
Insurance, payroll.
Payroll is huge.
Payroll's huge. It's so much. Like, it stresses me out thinking about it because I'm just like, what am I paying? So insurance, PG&E, Wi-Fi, water.
Scared me.
I had someone leave the water on for hella freaking long. I just hear it, and I had to have my plumber come in to reduce the water pressure because I'm just like hearing all this water, and I'm like, why are you guys using all this water? All my apps, my waiver app, my booking app, my music app. What else? Did I say payroll? Payroll is like, damn, I could be saving this like thousands of dollars from payroll, but honestly sometimes I don't like to do stuff that they do, so it really helps, and
you can get way more done when you have
extra hands. Sure. And then
at least all of these can be written off.
So like when I go on vacation, I use my business credit card everywhere because I don't really go on vacation like all the time except for this year. I'm writing everything off.
Right, everything off.
Yeah. Sometimes I take the girls to lunch, or like, honestly, the fees and payroll, and I have to pay employment tax. That's in the payroll. So when you have you have employees, you pay your employees, but you have to pay an employment tax to the government too. And then you have to pay, or it comes out of their like payment, but they got to pay for disability, or no, what is that?
State?
I don't know. But when I go on payroll, I pay these hours and then I pay extra because there's employment tax that I have to pay into. And mine, like, I don't pay my tax and I also don't pay myself. So basically whatever I make through the year, that's basically my income.
Yeah, the profit is...
Yeah. I think the most for sure is rent and payroll. A couple $1,000s. And like, I think about all the money that comes in. I'm like, damn, there's so much money coming in. And then there's so much money going
much expenses.
Out. And people are like, oh my God, you have a business. You probably make so much money. And I'm like, no, I probably make the same as you. I make the same as you. I just don't work as much as you probably. I don't also not hate my job. Not all 9 to 5 hate. You love your job.
I've hated many.
But you've hated many.
I like my current job.
Yeah.
I've hated so many. Anyways.
I think that's what I go through is like, okay, at least I love my job. Here, take my money. So right now I have an issue with my AC and heater, and it's just the person who was talking to me about it was like, it's a couple $1,000 if you want to repair it. And I'm like, I don't need to repair it till April.
Yeah.
Give me more options.
Yep.
And I texted the landlord because they were like, oh, you got to replace it. I hit up the property manager. You know what she did?
What?
I don't know if I told you guys. She sent me a screenshot of my freaking lease.
Oh, no.
I was like, read per attached. And I was like, click the attach is my freaking lease. It's highlighted that the landlord has no liability. You are on your own. And I was like, worth a shot.
Landlord is a whole different bag.
Yeah. Like if I
Right? I want to be a landlord.
like I don't want to pay for it. I gave them what they wanted it so bad. Like
commercial spaces is rough though, being a landlord, especially now after the pandemic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of commercial space.
But honestly, okay, I'm gonna tell you this. Like we had a plumbing issue a couple months ago with like everybody, like 4 of us. And since all of 4 of us complained, the landlord had to fix it. Because it's like overall people. So, okay, tell me why my toilet's clogged again. And I'm waiting for someone else in my neighboring stores. Like, are you guys clogged? Are you guys clogged too?
let's get a team going.
Yeah, let's do this again. I think it's from the pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like those little things that just
random pop-up emergencies. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't have that emergency fund anymore. So it's gone. I mean,
we're taking it month by month.
Yeah, we're taking it month by month. I don't know where it went, but I thought I would be making a lot more money here with this new location, and I don't think I haven't made
money. You're saving a lot more money, especially in rent, especially in overall expenses.
Yeah, but I feel like money isn't going to my savings. You know?
First of all, you had those 2 break-ins, you're having toilet problems, you had all these renovations. Like, give yourself some grace because you just moved into this spot, less than 6 months ago? Yeah. Give yourself some grace.
Like October.
Yeah.
Officially October. But I had to pay since August.
Right.
I had to pay for security deposit, all the renovations since August because I didn't get into October, but those 2 months was a lot of money. All at once. Done. I think the most expensive. Oh, I didn't even say the most expensive is labor.
Oh,
labor. Right. So you get your storefront, you do the renovations, you buy the material. You need to pay the workers,
right?
And they are more expensive than material, for sure. My new salon. My floors cost me $1,000. It cost me $2,000 for someone
for labor. Damn. Yeah.
So
do as much as you can. If you have
a handyman,
dad, or whatever.
I try to have my dad do. My dad renovated the bathroom for me.
I love that. He's so helpful.
Yeah, but I'm just like, he's getting old.
Oh.
So I'm like, I can't always
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes a village to also run a salon. For sure. Mm-hmm. My in-laws helped me too. Like when I had a break-in, like they'll bring their vacuum. They vacuumed up for me.
While you're having like a breakdown.
Yeah, like Ryan, my man, like if the floor tiles came in, the truck drivers will only put it in front of your door.
Oh, what?
It was like hella like pallets.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, are you gonna bring it inside? It was like a good 30 pallets, and they were like, oh no, we're not insured to put it inside. I'm gonna drop it right here. And I was like, it's 30 pallets. And they're like, do you want it right here? Yeah. He was like, do you want it right here? And that's my alarm system. I have to pay my alarm system because my alarm guy was there. And he was like, okay, he had a clipboard. And he's just like telling me what I want in an alarm system. And all of a sudden these truck guys come. Big ass pallets. And this is a small alarm guy. So he's just like, do you need help? Nice. But he didn't help me. He's just like, it's okay. I called my man. He'll come here. He's just like smaller than me. Like, I don't think you can get it either.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I remember that day because he was like, what other alarms do you want? So I spent a lot of money on my alarm. I spent a good $3,000 for installs. Because the door closes and locks when you close it, and it's electrified and it's heavy. So even when you open the door, it's heavy because it needs to close automatically. 2, I have like a speaker on my door so we can see you, buzz you in, and records. On my alarm system, calls the police, motion sensors, and then also on my Ring cameras. So I have to pay for the Ring as well. Yeah. Oh, the Square. I gotta pay for the register.
Right. Because that's how you take all your payments.
Yeah. It's just a lot of expenses. Just get ready for expenses, and you just gotta wing it every day. Gotta just wing it.
Oh
just make sure you got money in the bank. That's it. Make sure you got money in your bank because it's going to have to go through. Yeah. Oh, and I pay for my own health insurance.
Yes.
And that is like $600.
Yeah.
It's a scam.
Yeah, it's when you have to pay for your own health insurance, like Cover California. Oh my god.
Dude, I thought Cover California is supposed to be cheaper.
No. It's just its own standalone.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
I'm like this close and going straight to just Kaiser again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it with my storefront. I hope that kind of clears things up with having a storefront. It's not.
I learned so much when Jen just tells me all her day-to-day stories, what's going on at the salon. Oh my god.
And there's days where I don't even message on the group chat until I like have something pop up. I'm like, guys, guess what the fuck happened today? Like, I just told Mia, like, someone shit in my toilet. And it was just floating there, and like, I gotta fucking clean that up. Like, I went to work this morning, flush it, because it only worked for 2 flushes because it was clogged. So I don't know if my plumber came in today because I'm not working today, but I went there, it's at work, scrub my toilet, clean it all out, and I'm just like, why are women so dirty? What the fuck?
The struggles
of
owning your own
your every position, your every job.
Mm-hmm.
And when something hits the fan, like, you are the first person that they go to.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to find the answers right away.
Yeah.
Like, you need to for sure be like, okay, what can I do to fix this? And then not like freaking shut down.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you've learned as you've went along.
Yeah.
But it, like you said, it also prepared you for your second salon and how to negotiate that next time around, and this and this, since you're already experienced. So
yeah, so I hope you guys learned a lot on this episode, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Mm-hmm. Follow us at Biz Besties Pod. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.